Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Ace Wonder / Humor Productions office. We have been busy and recently had a fantastic time over at the GHEA conference in Georgia, which is actually the hometown of David Bowman, who I'm going to introduce you to in a moment. Do y'all remember back when I had Matthew Sample on this blog and he was talking about the artwork for the motion comics? Well, David Bowman is actually the sort of digital architect of all of the motion within the motion comics. So Matthew Sample designs the layout and the elements, and then the Effects Forge team, headed up by David Bowman, handles all of the voodoo that occurs afterwards. We also, in our office today, we have a couple of guests, David Heustis and Nathan Webster, who are hard at work back there. They just rarely have time to get up from behind their monitors. You may remember Nathan Webster from the episode a while back, and I don't know if I did one with David Heustis, but you all know who he is. So that's way too much fun. Okay, so David, explain a little bit about what goes on in the motion comic process.
Sure. Well, as you know, Matthew's doing all the artwork for it. So his digital illustration team goes in and they create all the layers and the images, you know, like Ace Wonder, the downtown street, and all that.
Sure.
And they deliver it to us in layered image files. So what we do is we take those images and we'll take them into a 3D environment, and we'll give them dimension, we'll add rain into them, we'll add camera movement, animation, all that kind of stuff. And then once we're done with that, we'll obviously send it to you and make adjustments and just kind of build the sequence out. So
very cool. So what does a typical length of, say, 60 seconds of this, how long would that take roughly on a usual basis?
I think 60 seconds is where you're looking at about maybe 2 or 3 weeks worth of work on our end, probably. I know the illustrators maybe even longer.
Gotcha. Yeah, it really is very cool though, the finished product. Have you ever seen a feature film that used MoComs kind of on this level of detail?
I've actually never seen it before. This is sort of like an animated comic book. It's not quite full three-dimensional animation, and it's not two-dimensional either. It's kind of a hybrid between the two. I haven't seen anything like it. The closest I've seen is maybe in credit sequences or things like that. But
sure.
This is really very unique.
Yeah, it is a very unique art, and it's very cool that Ace Wonder gets to utilize some of this, which should help plug the coming graphic novel series based on the Ace Wonder character, which I haven't really talked much about here on this blog, but it's very, very exciting, and we're looking forward to a partnership with some companies that I think you all will be very familiar with to get the books out there. And they've got a lot of great lessons for kids, and I'm very excited about it. It's one of the coolest aspects of it all. But the Bowman brothers and Effects Forge are responsible for more than just the motion comic sequences in the film. There's some very cool sort of science fiction sequences that occur later in the film, and it was remarkable how fast you were able to put together those sequences on a deadline before the festival. And I know you've worked on it since then, but has that been one of the more challenging sequences that you guys have dealt with? Where was that? How does that rank as far as complexity?
I think it was getting it to work was definitely extremely challenging. With the motion comics, we kind of knew what we were going to do, and we're getting the artwork, and it's fairly straightforward. I would say that was more difficult in getting the concept down. Once we were rolling, though, it was pretty quick.
Awesome, awesome. That's really cool. Well, in other news on Ace Wonder, we did talk a little bit about it at the GHEA conference, and we're gonna be showing it in its entirety at the Indiana Homeschool Conference I guess in June 6th, or Nathan, when is that?
First weekend in June.
First weekend in June. And then at the Czech Conference in Colorado. So we're also working on getting screenings hopefully in North Carolina, in Florida, and in California over the course of the summer. And we'd love to see as many of you there as we possibly can. We'll be offering some very, very unique sponsorship and pre-order opportunities to get some sort of package deals and some ways to be involved in the Ace Wonder Road Tour, where the entire cast and crew of Ace Wonder will be stopping in several major cities, something like a dozen to 24 major cities across the United States, depending on how well those sponsorships go. So get out your checkbooks, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, no, seriously, on a more serious note, it is a very expensive proposition, but we think it's important to travel around and to talk about the messages and themes of the film, as well as to do premieres in several of our major supporting cities. And we want to thank you all for being supportive in that way. To all of my friends that I met, my new friends from the GHEA conference, it was great to meet all of you, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you again as we stop in Atlanta on the Ace Wonder Road Tour. So God bless you guys. And before we go, David, I know that you guys are very conscientious about the types of projects you work on and are looking for fellow like-minded Christians with a strong biblical worldview that are creating feature films and even short films or commercials or what have you. Are you exclusively an Ace Wonder effects team, or do you guys have some kind of corporation beyond that?
Would you rephrase that?
Sure, restate the question.
Yeah, so I mean, we definitely want to work with mostly Christian films and projects that they may not be, they may not have a Bible verse or a sermon in them, but the underlying moral worldview is Christian. So those are the types of projects we definitely want to work on. Does that answer the question?
It does. It makes you a little more selective, I imagine, than a lot of people have to be. Okay, so where can people go to find out more about your projects?
You can go to our website, is www.effectsforge.com.
Okay.
That's the best place to go.
There will not be a link scrolling here at the bottom like a professional news service.
So that's effectsforge, EFFECTSFORGE.com.
Very good, and I think you guys are going to be very impressed. I would go at least to check out the demo reel. They've got some very, very cool effects they've done, not only in Ace Wonder, but in a lot of other projects. So I'd check it out. Also, you guys did the titles, the cool flashy titles with the gear and stuff in the opening of the Ace Wonder teaser. So you guys are seeing their work, and you're going to see a lot more of it in the years to come. Also, if you are an effects artist, contact David. I'm sure he'll have some advice for you.
Definitely.
So go to the Effects Forge website and contact him there. There's plenty of ways to do whatever you need to, straight from their website. I think that was perhaps the sloppiest closing I've ever given to one of these video blogs. My apologies to the viewing audience. And as always, if you have seen it through all the way to the very end clip, I want you to email me, John@EveryFrameCaptive, and tell me that you've watched this. And just tell them...
You'll get a free DVD, right?
Yeah, just write huzzah. No, I can't afford that. No, just email me and say huzzah Effects Forge. That's all you got to do. So let me know that you guys are watching. God bless. Bye-bye.